Hi, two recordings in one day. Wow, that's a bonus for you all, right? Yeah, but why am I recording right now at 10:30 at night? I got my new mic delivered. So I thought let's just use it and see if it's actually recording properly or not. I did do a test run and the voice was very clear. So I thought might as well record a short video quickly on just two of the ethics questions and wind up for the day. And then tomorrow we go back to recording more. So just in the morning, we recorded three ethics-based questions, and I'm recording two more, which I'm taking from this book, which we have just published. So directly, I'll be jumping on to question number 9. You overhear staff gossiping about a patient's health status. I'm still in my scrubs. I came home and I was just too tired to change before I went off to sleep. But anyways, yeah, let's go ahead. You overhear staff gossiping about a patient's health status. What should you do? So you join it. You want to gossip? Ignore it. Remind them about confidentiality and report if needed. Post it online anonymously. Okay. So say you are a dentist in a practice which has say 4-5 other dentists, and one of the dentists had a patient who had say specific health issue which the staff is finding amusing somehow, and they are gossiping amongst themselves, and you tend to overhear it. What are you gonna do? By curiosity, you will ask about whom you're talking about. But once you get that idea, you would realize that this is not right. It's not right to gossip, because technically, when a patient comes inside a clinical room, his data or his personal details are disclosed only to the staff which is present inside that room, which is mostly the dentist and the assistant. Now, if that assistant goes out and starts discussing amongst other assistants, you don't know when the next time the patient comes who's going to give him what kind of glance and make him feel uncomfortable. And besides, why should the other people know? It's none of their business, right? So whenever you find somebody doing that, the ideal thing is that you have to remind that person that this is confidential. And if that person is still not listening, then you have to go and report it, because this is again a breach of an ethical duty. I know it's a very thin line and everybody wants to gossip because somehow it's fun, but that is not a great idea in a professional setting. Gossiping in general is not great. You tend to add on things, you tend to make a drama about it. But yeah, human nature is such that it would happen. But you, as a responsible person, have to maintain that standards and boundaries, right? So, next question: which ethical principle ensures fair treatment and access to care? Now, for this, I want you all to read something which I have just opened. We already discussed about non-maleficence. Maleficence means do no harm, correct? Now here the question is asking which ethical principle ensures fair treatment and access to care. Justice, fidelity, and respect. The answer is justice out here, but I want you to understand all the options, because questions are being made on all the options. So you should know which option is the right one for what particular question. Non-maleficence we already discussed. Respect is in general respect to the autonomy of the patient, the decision-making power of the patient. You're not going to judge the patient. You will just respect their decisions. Justice is what this question is about, when you ensure fair treatment and access to care, no matter the race, the caste, the age, whatever the situation, everybody has access to a fair treatment and to care. What is fidelity? Okay, because questions would be made on fidelity as well. So fidelity means loyalty to patient, you being very honest to the patient. The overall well-being of the patient is more important to you than anything else. When I say anything else, it means the money you make out of the patient. Your priority should be the overall well-being and not the money that you can make from the patient. Example, if a tooth is just requiring a filling, you will not convince the patient to go ahead and do a root canal when you know only a filling is necessary for that particular case. The well-being of the patient should be a priority. Second fidelity concept is adherence to professional code and conducts. You will be very professional. You will uphold the patient's trust. commitment to maintaining confidentiality, fulfilling promises and obligations, keeping one's promise. That means this could mean following through on a commitment to call a patient with test results, ensuring a treatment plan is carried out as agreed, or being punctual for the appointments. Consistently meeting this obligation builds trust and demonstrates respect for the patient's time and need. Advocating for patients' right and best interest. So this is what fidelity means. Fidelity doesn't just mean in a relationship. Even in a relationship, you say you have fidelity, right? It's basically a commitment to be responsible, honest, reliable. That is what it means even in a professional conduct. That's what fidelity means. So yeah. So here the answer for which ethical principle ensures fair treatment and access to care is justice. But if I would have quoted which ethical principle ensures loyalty to patient, being honest, being punctual on time, adhering to the treatment plan, then the answer would have been fidelity, correct? Last question, okay? A dentist accepts a patient referred by a colleague and speaks negatively about the referring dentist. This is a breach of what? So, normally, somehow, that I've found, there's a lot of jealousy amongst the dental and the medical colleagues. Like, quite a lot of dentists and medical professionals tend to put down their own colleagues by bad-mouthing them in front of the patients. Especially when the patient comes for a second or third opinion and they themselves say, you know what, I went to this doctor but I didn't find a good vibe with him or whatever. And then you tend to ask who was the doctor, and the patient discloses the name. And if you know that person, sometimes you tend to say, you know, oh, I know he's like that. That is very bad, you know. No matter how much you know about that other referring doctor, no matter how well you know the work that the other doctor does, even if it's the most shoddiest of work, you will never badmouth a doctor, okay? That's professional courtesy, absolutely, and that's maintaining professionalism. There is no need to badmouth anyone in the first place, and especially when you're in the same profession. No matter how much you disagree with the kind of work or kind of ethics anybody maintains, it's none of your business to badmouth that person in front of the patient. That should never be done. That's called as professional courtesy. And that should always be maintained no matter what. You can too be, on the other hand, if you badmouth somebody can badmouth you too, even though you may be the most idealistic, best doctor in the world. Get it? So that has to be always maintained. So yeah, that's about it, and I hope now this time the voice is clear. Leave me the comment if it is. I hope this mic is successful, and see you tomorrow. Bye bye.